Los Angeles, California, America, Earth, the land of the law and home of cinema. A few years ago, I made a video talking about 5 of the best movie theaters in the city. Gourmet food, free gifts, celebrity sightings, are you kidding me? Last time I went to the Alamo Draft House, AMC City Walk, the New Beverly, the TLC, Chinese Theater, and the El Capitan, Disney El Capitan. However, you know what's higher than 5? Snoop Dogg. And his favorite number is 10, so today I'm doing 5 more theaters, and then I'm gonna rank them all at the end. I'm going over price, the flair. I'm gonna rank them compared to the 5 theaters. Also, give you a top 10 theaters in Los Angeles. That's a good deal, all for free. Just like the video, subscribe, not that hard. Good trade off. But this ain't Baby Geniuses 2, okay? All right, that we're not playing around. This is Baby Geniuses 3. But this ain't Baby Geniuses 3 either. Right, this is real serious YouTube video make. Went to the biggest city in the country, one of the biggest cities in the country. I went to one of their stupid theaters, right? See if it can even compete, even try to touch my boy California. Like Batman and Sherlock in that one episode where he jumps off a building, everything great also is a building. So the first theater on today's list is downtown LA's Rooftop Cinema. The reason you go to this theater is for the vibes. The vibes here are sensational. Beautiful views, isolated immersion in that city high life. If you're going to see a movie for an experience, this is one of the best ones you can find. Just hanging out before the movie with the skyscrapers next to you as the sun goes down is truly a special feeling. I'd go back to this theater time and time again just for that. However, once you move away from the vibes in the city, kind of just okay. Obviously, they can't be blasting movies out here, full volume, Tuesday night, because then little Timmy, all it takes is him to look out the window and Honora's playing, game over. Little Timmy's gonna have a lot of questions for his parents. So the way to get around little Timmy's therapy is to give everyone a pair of headphones to be worn with the actual movie audio. I will say, I thought they were pretty comfortable for me, but I know some people who maybe might not like wearing headphones for like multiple hours. Maybe that'll be a problem. Wasn't for me though. The only issue with these headphones, right, is there's always a chance you get some unexpected ambiance, right? I'm sitting there, I'm watching Jurassic Park, it's a good moment. The Raptors are closing in, the tension is incredibly high. Uh-oh, they just unlocked door access on the Raptor skill tree. A car just peels out, and if you get real unlucky, I could see this taking you out of the movie. The screen itself is fine, kind of just like stock inflatable projector screen, but it's by no means bad. When I saw a film here, I also got this little fire pit next to me, which was pretty cool. You pair that with a cozy movie on a winter night, and damn dude, that hits hard. I paid $30 for a ticket, which includes a hot beverage, so like not that bad. The food selection is pretty standard, nothing crazy, but no expected movie foods they probably won't have. Also found this little lot next door for $10 parking, making the whole entire experience a $40 thing. Here's the thing, that's expensive for a movie, but honestly, I would still say it's worth it. Parking a movie, a beverage in your own little fire pit, that's a good time for $40. To get the full experience, I would say show up a little early to have the most time possible to take in these vibes and enjoy the setting and just the people you're with. It's good stuff. Take some pictures, play some games, have a nice chat. That's a good time. They don't really show new movies, so it's not like you're going here every week, but it's a really cool way to see a movie you enjoy or something really Los Angeles, you know? Like seeing La La Land here, maximum vibes, dude. Seeing Maxine here, maximum vibes. In my last video, I glazed the hell out of the New Beverly, so when I found out there was another theater in LA owned by Quentin Tarantino, you don't gotta tickle my elbows, guy. I'm there, right? Sign me up. The second theater that Tarantino owns is the Vista Theater, which originally opened in 1923. Hot damn. Chris Hansen, no need, sir. They're definitely of age. Okay, you're good, buddy. Take the night off. The design of this theater is simple, but it's unique. It's King Tut inspired with a lot of Egyptian decor, which I actually really like. It reminds me how theaters were designed when I was a kid before everything got like really boring and minimalistic like they are now. There are 2 things about this theater I really love. One being the fact it has an attached cafe named after the Pam Grier film Coffee. The design is all retro looking and even has a bunch of old cereals you can purchase. That's right, you can buy cereal. If you're going to the Vista, you gotta stop here, right? Get a muffin, get a coffee. It's a great way to start the morning, start your day, your night, whatever, and just a cool movie experience. The next thing I like about this theater is that everything here is shown on film. They show old movies, of course, but unlike the New Beverly, you can actually catch some new movies here also. The Vista being an amazing way to catch a movie actually on film. Sinners, Honora Longlegs, some of the movies that have been showing here that I'm sure are really cool, especially a film like Longlegs, which might not get this big, wide theatrical release. It might be hard to track down a version of this movie on film otherwise. And I'm not just being pretentious, okay? Film's just better. Okay, just watch it. You can tell the difference. And there's no upcharge here also. It's like, okay, premium theater, format, give us another 10 bucks. As cool as those films are, I also really like just mixing in some of that old programming. My grandpa is in his 80s. He has officially hit Unk status. And he was one of the earliest people to get me into movies, and one of the first films he showed me was Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein. And the fact that I was able to take him here to see this in person on the big screen, super cool experience, fantastic memory. And for a $11 ticket and street parking, you can't beat that. The snacks are also super cheap, like New Beverly, which is great. And overall, I would just say the Vista is not a flashy theater by any means. But you see a film here and you feel the history, you feel the love for movies and the movie theater experience. Just like the New Beverly, it has a ton of heart, and not only do I fully recommend it, I can't really name anything about this theater I don't like. And I saw Jack Black there, so that was a whole entire experience. Interacted with him. Let me know if you want me to do a story time video talking about that. ICUP. Oh yeah? Well, what about IPIC? iPic is a theater in beautiful Pasadena, and it's an interesting theater for sure. I enjoy the theater, I'll say that, and compared to your average everyday theater, this one is probably miles better. Tickets are a little expensive though, I will say that. Each ticket was $25 per person, which is expensive for a movie. iPic is another big food theater, very similar to the Alamo Drafthouse. They have this extensive menu of food and drink options. They bring it to you in the theater. Pretty cool. I only got mozzarella sticks here, but they were pretty dang good. The chairs are super comfortable, and they also provide you with a little blanket at each seat, which is also cool. As far as the screen and the food and all that stuff goes, it's hard to compare this to Alamo Drafthouse, and in that regard, I'd say iPic isn't as good, but the interior of the theater is very nice. Not quite as interesting as Alamo, but it's nice. I don't know, it's different, hard to explain. Feels like a nice apartment. Lots of cool decorations, mini photo ops. It's just a chill space to hang out. One of my favorite things to do is a nice post-movie discussion. And this one of the only theaters I'd say maybe hear me out guys, maybe we chill in the theater and talk about it. We don't just go stay in the parking lot. It's a good vibe. They also have a full-fledged restaurant in this theater. I didn't eat there, but just conceptually, I think that's really cool. I'd have to go back. Parking was only a few bucks with validation too, so that's pretty cool. Hold up though. We're not just talking about Los Angeles here, right? This isn't Baby Geniuses 4. Will you allow me to jump in my plane, my private plane? Because look at all those subscribers. I'm very rich. And just like the Muppets, I'm taking Manhattan on this one. That's right, the biggest apple, the set from Spider-Man. I was in New York and I said, wait a second, people be saying this is the best city in the country. Surely they got some cool theaters. So I looked it up. I just typed in best theaters in New York in Manhattan, and it took me to Regal Battery Park. Finally, dude, Regal's getting on this list. Here's the thing. Disappointing. To get inside this theater, you gotta go on this big trek to get there. I feel like I'm trying to find Laputa with this one. It's a giant hotel or something, which is cool, but for the first time, a little tricky to navigate. Once I got inside though, the theater has some pretty cool views of the city, and it's by far the coolest thing about this theater, because other than that, kind of just basic theater. Snacks are fine, basic, Regal snacks. Seating's fine. Everything's kind of standard. New York, I expected more, to be honest. But for any New Yorkers in the comments, oh, that's actually the worst theater in New York. Why'd you gotta go there? You should have gone to this theater. That's the real best theater in New York. Bryant Park, Regal sucks. I'm actually going back to New York in a couple of months, so drop some good theaters in the comments. I'll check them out. I'd love to do it, let me know. But now, just like the Rams, it's time to go back to Los Angeles. Speaking of Regal, let's throw it back to their rival AMC Burbank to be exact. Now, Los Angeles is not perfect, and not every theater is a banger. AMC Burbank, here's the thing. For a theater chain, it's pretty cool. Definitely better than your standard theater. But if we're comparing to all these other theaters, it's just fine. Granted, not really fair because in my opinion, these are some of the best theaters in the country, but AMC Burbank is just on that higher end of solid theaters. In fact, on my list last time, I went to AMC City Walk, and that is better. They have a special VIP-like bar, which is kind of cool. And there are a ton of theaters here. So you know how some movies have like the big marketing things for movies? AMC has like all of them. The Sonic 3 game, Nosferatu Grave, Pretty much all that, so that's always cool if you're trying to go see that. This theater does have one special thing though, one super cool thing you can't help but love. One thing that is so unique to only this theater. Holy cannoli, it's Batman. The thing is awesome. If you're in Los Angeles and you're going through Burbank and you love Batman, maybe stop and see it. It's pretty sweet. It's a cool area too, so you can get some good food. Pretty chill. If the last list was going over big, extravagant theaters, this one is a little more chill, you know, just a little more low-key about it. I gave you example 3, Vidiots. Dude, I really liked this theater. Okay, first off, another theater with street parking, which is always, you know, massive W. I will admit, in terms of vibe, it's not as strong as the Vista. It's a little more standard themed, but while the Vista feels like history, Vidiots feels like a theater kept alive by film fans. Like-minded individuals who genuinely care about movies and seeing them in theaters. Just reading their website, you feel that passion and it's contagious. Seeing a movie here with a good crowd, damn dude, just makes you love movies. I saw one of my childhood favorites here, Hook, and first of all, I don't know what kind of shaman magic they cast here, but it was one of the most crisp looking movies I've ever seen. I don't know if it's Hook, I don't know if it's the theater, but it was just so gorgeous. I love this movie so much. I was getting emotional by the end. I'm not an emotional guy, but I was. Maybe it's Robin Williams. Rest in peace. Love this guy so much. On par with New Beverly, this is one of the best crowds I've ever seen, you know, consistently in a movie. Everyone is respectful, but they're laughing, they're having a good time. Nobody's on their phones. And if you haven't seen a good movie with a good audience like this, it genuinely makes the movie so much better. There's more to talk about here. We're not done yet. Baby Genius is 7. This theater has a micro cinema, which is really cool. Select showings playing here. Vista has one too. Forgot to mention that. Video rentals. Is this the rolling 40s? Jay Gatsby, am I you, old sport? The Alamo Drafthouse from the last video has a good selection of movies to rent, but Vidiots, it's pretty much a full-fledged video rental store. Rentals are cheap, only $2 to $3, and the selection is huge. Even if you're not gonna get anything, it's cool to just walk around and get that experience of, you know, I'm back in a video rental store, checking stuff out in the different categories, the drama section, the comedy section. It's phenomenal. Another thing that's cool about this theater is just seeing the amount of community support from people in and out of the industry. You can see the people who have donated to help keep this theater alive, and it's cool to see the celebrities who are a part of that mission. The price for a ticket was also $13, which isn't too bad. Another cool theater to check out. So if I had to rank all the theaters, right, taking into account everything, the price, the quality, all the fun extra stuff, here's what I do. Last place, sorry, it's AMC Burbank. Then I would go with iPic, Vidiots, Rooftop Cinema, and number 1, we gotta go with the Vista. If I had to rank all 10, the bottom 3 are still the same, but then I'd go AMC City Walk, Chinese Theater, Rooftop Cinema, Vista, Alamo Drafthouse, El Capitan, and still my favorite, the New Beverly. Thank you so much for watching. That's the video. Hit subscribe. These videos are tough to make. I have a few more ideas, but they gotta do good. So please hit subscribe, like it, share it, all that stuff, so this video can do good and I can make more fun, you know, out there movie videos like this. That's the video. Bye. Hit subscribe.